Buongiorno and welcome to Sky Fish Channel. Today we're going to go in aquaponical, baby. So what I want to do is I want to put some free floating plants into the pond for the benefits that they can provide for the fish and the water and the environment that they live in. My mad crazy idea, because I'm Sky Fish Channel, I do things differently, is I had these little boxes that I bought from last year. I'll put the link in below. I can't remember where I got them from, but they were off Amazon. And the idea is I've got 3. I would have preferred 4 because I've got 4 corners, so you can figure out where I'm going with this. I'm going to be putting one of these in each corner, or 3 of the 4 corners. So I'll probably choose this one, that one at the back there, and that one at the front. I'll probably leave this first box sort of uncovered, or maybe put another one in at a later date. The first plant I've got is this one, which is a cardboard box, and I'm hoping to grow it into a bigger cardboard box. No, I'm only joking. The first plants I've got is water lettuce. I'll unbox that in a minute. There's just 3 baby little water lettuce in there. Again, the link is down below, and maybe you can get a couple of water lettuces too. So the other thing I stumbled across, and it's a bit of a wild card, this one, not entirely sure how it will work, but I hope it will work, is little duckweeds. This is duckweed, duckweed seeds or duckweed, whatever the hell that is. Anyway, it's live duckweed that I'm going to be putting in the pond. And the idea is that these baskets, this basket will sit down a water level, and then little vents at the side, they won't escape via them. So it's going to be quite interesting one with the duckweed. Not quite as straightforward as the water lettuce, because the water lettuce just will have water lettuces just spinning around, floating in the water, doing their own thing. But with the duckweed, it's going to be a bit of an experiment. But we'll see how that goes. I am going to grow into this, literally, no pun intended. I do want to get something, some lilies or something like that to sit on the top of the surface of the water for a multitude of different reasons. 1, the benefits of the water, B, the shade, and C, from predators. Another point is I think they look quite pretty, I think they look nice. And the other thing is it just gives the koi a bit of mental stimulation, because when I read something recently about it being like a koi cage, because there's nothing inside it, and there's no stimulation like for them to live in, and they're just going up and down and stuff. I think the lilies in the future will give them a little bit more to think about, swim around, nibble off, mess around with, or whatever. But that's where I want to go with this. But for now, we're just doing these 3 water lettuces, the duckweed in these baskets in the corner, and I'm going to anchor them into the corner because they do float. I'm going to anchor them for now with these bag ties. How well that'll go, I have no idea. But if you've got a better, less expensive idea that you can recommend, drop it in the comments. That's what we'll be doing. All right, and also, Jax, look at the camera. Do you want to say hi there?
Hiya.
Are you liking your new fishes?
Yes.
Yes, which ones are yours again?
Yellow and...
2 yellows.
2 yellows.
One's scaled, isn't it?
1 scale.
And one's doitsu.
1 doitsu.
Yeah, that means he's got no scales. And you can see he's wearing it. Show us your medal. Show us Daddy's medal from today. Me and the wife did a little inflatable 5k run. It was amazing. Actually, there's a lot of kids on there. Do you like that little medal that Daddy got for his race?
Yeah!
Yeah, alright, no need to shout. Okay, so that's just what me and the wife did today. It was actually a lot of fun. It's basically like a bunch of giant bouncy castles. A 5k run, you can do 2.5k, you can do 5k, you can do 10k, you can do 20k, and you're just acting like a big child. There is children there is people of different abilities, a lot of different abilities, not super fit people. It's not one of them where you go like and you're running a marathon and everyone's marathon trained. There's some normal people down there. Okay, so I digress. Let's go back to the job at hand. Okay, so these, oh, you can see I've popped a little bit of food in there. These in those 3 corners, anchored via this, using these. Let's see how this goes. Warning before we go into this, not that I've got no top on, but this would definitely be improved. So we're looking for your input in the comments on how you would anchor these into the corner inexpensively and look maybe a bit better. But let me show you what I've done for now. It's semi-functional is probably the way to describe this. Oh. So what we've got is it floating. We just throw the water lettuce in, that'll work. It's anchored by this little thing into the bag ties, put together, anchored into there, hold it there, pop the water lettuce in there. I think it'll be happy. I'm rather sceptical on the duckweed though, so let's get a water lettuce out now. Right, you ready?
He's trying to get the fishes out and put the soil in it.
Yes, that's right.
Pardon?
So here we go.
Yes, pardon.
Son, what are you going on about?
Yes, pardon.
Come on, sunshine, let's get back to the job at hand. Okay, Always take precautions when you're opening a box. And that's it, we're in. Well, I'm hoping we're in. No, we're not. We're gonna have to slice it. Right, we're in now. So, this is our box. Nice little set of instruction stems, our fast growing stem plants, fast growing plants, aquarium plants. Oh, look at them. This is the water lettuces. Look at them, Jaxie.
Wow.
You see them? What do you think?
These are cool.
This, you heard it from the horse's mouth, or the child's mouth. Right, so what we're going to do is... Yeehaw indeed. Okay, so let's get one of these into our little contraption that we've made. This one, it's nice water, is that, you know. Yeah, look at that. Tell you what, come through the post like this, look at that. Let's just, I'll take you live over as we pop the first one in. Right, there you go. Water lettuce in his box, anchored in the corner, so the koi can't eat him, keeps him in the place, keeps him away from the skimmer, even though the skimmer's right next to it. So this box better not let me down. I wonder when it rains, will it sink? Lots of questions going through my mind. Okay, that was very nice. Nice little water lettuce. Why do I keep doing what?
Those ones.
Why do I keep doing this? Talking to the camera?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people find us, or me, a little bit interesting. Is there anything that you want to say? Do you want to say hello?
Hello, Pumpkinhead.
So yeah, now you know you're a pumpkinhead, baby. Okay, so they're in. So there might be a bit of a, oh well, there definitely is a better way than I'm doing it at the minute. But for the time being, I've sort of got them there. I've not tidied up the edges of them. I'm thinking a little brain thing has happened to me, which doesn't often happen. Having a small little Neanderthal brain. What I'm thinking about doing is putting like hooks on, or maybe like the suckers that the kids have got for sticking toys in the bath on the side, stick them to the concrete at the top and then put some string from it to hold the sides up. Because them little baskets, rude. How is someone cutting the lawn at this time? Or whatever, the chainsaw, that, innit? How can someone start using a chainsaw when I'm talking to you guys? Okay, so them little baskets are weirdly on the borderline of being floating and sinking, like we are as humans. Like when we breathe in, we float, when we breathe out, we sink generally. So they don't breathe, for the record, but they do like float and then sometimes sink. And then after a while they seem to, when the top goes a little bit below it, so maybe when it rains, it will sink down. That's my concern. So they just need a little bit of anchoring and support in the corners. I'm talking about a touch of support. So it doesn't need something like a chain to hold it up. It just needs a little bit of encouragement to stay on the surface. Okay? So I will show you what I've done, which is terrible looking for now. You can see we have this anchored in. It's just got a little bit of support there. It's got them in there. It doesn't look that bad. Obviously I'll trim that off and trim that off, but the way that I've done the other one, it looks, to be honest, better than this one. And the third one that I do will obviously be a lot better. Okay, so then we go over to this one, which has got no plants in, and I've not got the duckweed in yet for obvious reasons. This one's nicely anchored, and I've just slid one through so I can chop the top of that. You won't even see that. In fact, that's might be what I do. So that doesn't look that bad, if you can imagine this being chopped off. Obviously it'd be better with like, you know, like a suck, you know what I mean, then, like things like kids' toys, you stick them to the side of the bath and things like that, they just suck on. Or like, I don't know, there's lots of different things, like a hook that you can put under there to hold it. It might be a bit dramatic, but I think that does the job when all this is tidied up and cut off. Okay, so this one is going to be going in that corner. My idea now is, as this hole is where I'm putting them, it doesn't need it looping back out, it just needs to go through it, like this. I can just show you, like that. It goes through, so then what we need is one of those on the other end of that. So then that can anchor into the stone. So what I do is just pop that over. It'll grip. It'll grip. Hey, I've just walked with something in my head. It'll grip, will snip. And that then will go into the corner and just, like I say, grip on if we just trim the edge there. But now, if we do that on both sides, we've got a level of support for this side, anchored into the grooves of this. The problem that we got up there though is we've only got one groove on the side, so I think I'm going to have to go next to the window. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So there we have it. We've got these two little anchors on the side, like a hanging basket, like this. And then we're just going to plonk these in the grooves to support it up. Okay, so let's take the basket round to the corner. This is going to be the hardest one out of them all. And we're not going to be able to film this. So I'll snap back to you in a minute. Here we go. You can see this anchored in there, just above the surface level, because this is a duckweed one. I want to keep it all in. And then the beauty about this system is, if I can just pop you down for a second on my little tripod, which I'll link below as well. I'll pop that in the link, and my little store when I do my videos. So you can see, A, how tight I am, but B, this is brilliant because look, I can literally pop it down to size, snip off the top. Look at that. It's like gardening with Johnny. It's absolutely amazing. I'm loving this problem shooting episode of like trying to be a skinflint and like put plants in my pond. But I honestly think I've done this quite well. What do you think? Have a look. So it doesn't ruin the pond at all. But look, if you deep dive into it, it might, because you just think like, what a tight get. The only problem that I may have now is fluctuating water levels. That's something to consider. But this is Koi Fish Johnny. We're learning on the job, baby. I'm enjoying putting these plants in. I'm going to go and put this duckweed in. Is that what we should do? Should I maybe put some dramatic music on and walk this duckweed round, or duckweed seeds, duckweed, baby duckweeds? Okay, so let's go. You're going to Johnny's pot of glory. Okay, scissors are there, waiting. Okay, duckweed, duckweed, duckweed. What the hell? How do you get this stuff out? Maybe you got to finger it out. That sounds ridiculous. This is mad. This is like the stickiest, hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Ooh yeah, a little bit of greenery. What do you think, dudes? Lining up to see it. Okay. And yes, I will be removing that one, eating food in a second. But for now, look at that. Waste of bloody money on my hands here. Doesn't tight get, we've got to get everything in. Okay, I'm going to turn this camera off, we'll try. Buongiorno, I thought you'd like to join me on putting this third and final water lettuce into the pond. As you can see, it's a beauty. See, I lied to you again, the plan changed dramatically as we went through. As you could see, we snipped them all down, we anchored them, we put them in the corner, we tied it up to make it look a bit neat. I'll throw you over the top in a minute. Once I've popped this water lettuce in, let's go. In he goes. As you can see, that was what changed. We've got duckweed in here, and we've got a water lettuce in there. We've got two water lettuces, and up the top, which looks very nice, I think, if you can see it. Just up there, we've got the water lettuce, and I think I saw the robin redbreast in the background there. Nick that off after the video. But you can see over the top here, again, this one isn't, it's not the best in the world, this, but it does a job, baby. It does a job. Let's push them down maybe a little bit more. I'll have to try and fiddle around with them, so stay tuned for that. That's the remains. That's the food that I've still not taken off the top, but I will do. I only put it on as I came out to do this, which hasn't, I know honestly hasn't taken that long. You can see the duckweed number. I really like that. I'm not sure how fast it'll grow. I've read that it's very good for the koi and for the water, so fingers crossed. It is. Okay, so on that happy note, I hope you've enjoyed this Koi Fish Johnny episode of parading around the pond, figuring problems out, potting plants in the water, floating plants, floating plants in the water corners of my koi pond. That sounds great, doesn't it? Just rolled off the tongue. But I'm hoping that these A, grow, B, contribute, and C, have a good effect, and D, make things, the water better for the fish, maybe even as they grow and get bigger, a lot bigger, stimulate the fish a little bit mentally to make their environment that little bit more enjoyable than just living in a koi box. As you can tell, that little comment sort of got to me a little bit. So yeah, also on a side note, just look at that. Randomly, a pot round the back that I thought had dead roses in, one rose has bloomed. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, good job all in all. Koi fish happy. Koi fish Johnny over and out.